Hello Star Wars fans and toy fanatics, Steve back here with you. Hello guys, hope you're all doing okay. Welcome back. And I'd like to take this time again to thank you very much to spend some time with me. It's been a little slow as far as Star Wars collecting for me. Haven't really purchased anything in the past several weeks, which is good for my wallet. But you know, so I figured I'd dive into my toy vault and do some older reviews. I've been wanting to do this for quite some time. This is my Bounty Hunter special, focusing on the executors meeting from Empire Strikes Back. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, well, how can you do a Bounty Hunter special, Steve, without Boba Fett? Well, you know, considering that Boba Fett gets a lot of exposure and you know, he's just talked about a lot, and I figured, you know, it's time to give these guys, these other guys, some love as well. Some really fantastic figures, you know, in my opinion. Nice detail, and for the price, you still probably can pick any of these figures up anywhere from probably $20 to $40, just depending on where you get them. And you might even get them a little cheaper. Just depends on what luck you have if you're in the market for something like this. And in my personal opinion, I'm a big fan of the 6-scale figures, you know, whether it be Sideshow, Hasbro, or Kenner. I really like them all, and they're all very cool. Now today we're going to focus on the Bounty Hunters from Executor Meeting from Empire Strikes Back. And I'm going to start off with IG88. We'll probably do this in 2 parts, guys, because I don't want to go too long. I don't want to bore you to death or anything. So we're going to probably do this in 2 parts. This is part 1 featuring IG88 and Dengar today. And come on back and we'll do Bosk and Forlom and Zuckuss following. But for right now, let's take a look at this IG88 figure. Now this is a first release for Hasbro. Now Kenner did release an IG88 in 1983, which was a very rare figure. You know, it was very low in production, so if you have one of those from 1983, consider yourself pretty lucky, because he's pretty rare. But nonetheless, this guy right here was released in 2000 from the Power of the Jedi series. An awesome figure, highly detailed. You know, he's got some nice posability, and you know, for the price, this guy is very, very cool. Again, he's not on par with Sideshow, but you know, considering the price difference, this is a very cool addition to anybody's Star Wars collection, and highly recommended. So we'll take a closer look at this guy. He does come with the 2 weapons as well, you know, similar to his vintage release on Star Wars card back way back in 1983. And as you can see, we'll take a look at these weapons he comes with real quick here for you. He does come pretty much, you know, a standard Stormtrooper blaster here, which is pretty much a straight plastic mold, but very detailed and very, very cool. You know, awesome for back then. This is, again, came out in 2000, so very nice. He also does come with his other weapon here, which is very similar to an MG88, a German World War II machine gun, which looks very close to that. A very nice looking weapon, very, very cool. He does come with a little movable piece here, which is awesome. And you know, again, it's just a straight mold, but still nicely detailed and very, very cool. As for the figure itself, you know, he does come with some great articulation. He does come, you know, some points above the shoulder there and his elbow. He does come with a swivel waist, excuse me, swivel hips, and he does come with that's pretty much it, you know, as far as posability go. He does have a nice ball jointed head though, which is very cool. We'll get to that here. And it's very nicely detailed, very, very cool looking, man. You know, highly recommended, because he's just a very cool droid in my opinion. As you can see, the detail on this guy is done very nicely from Hasbro, which is a lot different from we've been getting so far as Hasbro's releasing as far as 12-inch figures. And this is what I remember from Hasbro and Kenner, you know, doing some really cool stuff, you know, some nice detail, very, very cool. And when these were first released back in 2000, they were retailing at $20, which is an awesome deal. And again, you can probably still find these guys for relatively around the same price, or maybe a little more or a little less. It just depends on where you get them, I suppose. As you can see, the detail on this guy is awesome. Very, very nice. You know, posability is, you know, minimal, but you know, still got some a wider range of posability if you like to do something with that. You know, very, very cool looking and highly recommended. You know, just awesome IG88 down to the tubes and wires, and just a complete world of difference from what they're releasing lately. And you know, this is probably one of my favorite figures here, just because I just really like this character, and he's just awesome looking and very, very cool, in my opinion, of course. And you know, highly recommended for anybody's Star Wars collection, because you cannot go wrong with these guys if you're into this scale of figure, which I am. So you know, whether you are or not, it's cool. You know, it's all good. But you know, still very cool looking figures and great detail, great price. You know, you could get the sideshow version of this guy, which is retailing probably about anywhere from 160 to 180. So if you're in the market for that, you know, he does come with the light up head as far as the sideshow one is concerned. But this one is a nice second choice if you don't want to spend that much money on a killer IG88 figure in this scale. So moving on to Dengar, which is, this one came out in 2002, and again, a very awesome figure, very cool. The attention to detail on the armor is actually astounding. Very, very nice attention to detail on the armor. Very, very cool looking. He does come with some soft goods underneath as well, which is cool. And just the whole look of the armor looks very cool in my opinion. He does come with this removable backpack as well, which has got some very nice detail on it as well. Very cool looking. And Dengar's got a quite extensive backstory, so if you're interested on this guy, he's got some pretty cool backstory. It's very interesting. I'm not going to bore you with all that right now. We're just going to take a look at the figure and you know, not too much of his backstory, but you know, if you want to take a look at his backstory, just feel free on Wikipedia or something. He's got a really cool backstory, and you can find out more how he got these bandages on his head and everything, which is very cool. The head sculpt itself is, you know, it's not bad. It's, you know, it's actually pretty cool, in my opinion. You know, there's not a lot of detail on there, but you know, it still looks pretty cool in my opinion. You know, it's got some nice weathering on the bandages, and he's got some nice detail on his face. He's got some damage there, battle damage, courtesy of Han Solo. But again, that's a whole nother story, I suppose. The gun he comes with is again very similar to the IG88 gun, just with a different paint application. Again, very similar to the MG88, which is a World War II machine gun. Very similar to that. Fits in his hand very nicely, and it looks very cool. Again, you get the detail on the boots, which is very awesome. The armor's all done very, very cool. It's got a nice texture and feel to it as well, so it looks and feels very cool. Again, this guy comes with some multiple points of articulation, not as much as sideshow stuff, but you do got a swivel head and ball joints on the arms and pivots on the elbows, swivel wrist. He does also have, you know, ball joints on the legs there, so you can get a wide range of posability with that. He does have pivot on the knees, and that's pretty much it. But still, you know, get this guy some pretty cool poses. And an excellent figure, excellent detail, and highly recommended for anybody's Star Wars collection, including mine. So, come on back for part 2 as we take a look at Bosk, Forlom, and Zuckuss, guys, coming right up for you. So stay tuned for that. Thank you very much for watching today, and I will be back for part 2, so stay tuned, guys. Coming up right soon. So until then, see you soon. Happy hunting, and I'll be back very, very soon for you.